Well, happy Easter, and thank you for joining THV 11 News at 5:30. I'm Jurnee Taylor here with meteorologist Simone Thomas. Simone, happy Easter.
Happy Easter. We had a great day for the
beautiful.
Easter festivities.
Yes.
A lot better than how we started the weekend. We did get a little rain to start the weekend, and I want to talk about that first because that'll help set the scene for what the week ahead looks like. This is the 48-hour rainfall total, so this starts to count at 5:30 Friday through today. Of course, most of this rain was Friday night into yesterday. Greatest totals we're seeing across western Arkansas with rainfall in central Arkansas anywhere between half an inch to an inch of rain. Now, that wasn't quite enough to completely remedy our wildfire danger. We are down to moderate risk across the state, and a number of burn bans still in effect across the state. And as we start this new week, things are mainly sunny, things are dry, and we're getting back into the 70s. We do have more rain in the forecast, though, that we'll talk about in your 7-day outlook, so make sure you stick around.
All right, Simone, thank you. Well, just one day after the rescue of a U.S. airman behind enemy lines in Iran, many are calling this an Easter miracle. President Donald Trump has also sent a new threat to the country, giving them 48 hours to react, or claims there will be, quote, living hell. CBS News' Torian Small has more.
President Trump took to social media again on Easter Sunday to issue a post that contained expletives, warning Iran to open the Strait of Hormuz or face a massive attack. Tuesday will be Power Plant Day and Bridge Day, the president wrote. You'll be living in hell, just watch, ending his post with praise be to Allah. In an interview with the Associated Press on Sunday, Iran's cultural minister dismissed the threats and called President Trump a, quote, unstable, delusional figure. The president's threats came hours after an announcement that the U.S. Special Operations Forces successfully rescued a U.S. airman shot down in Iran last week. The rescue of the Air Force colonel reportedly hiding in a mountain crevice in Iran is being hailed as an Easter miracle.
The other lesson, I think, is a hard lesson for Iran. First of all, they were not able to find the missing air crewman. Second, they put out a broad appeal to their people to turn him in, reward, asking for all kinds of leads. That does not appear to have been successful.
The rescue of this airman comes as the U.S. enters a 6th week of this conflict with Iran and as lawmakers continue to express concerns about the possibility of a ground war.
Well, certainly there's no circumstance where U.S. ground troops should be sent over to the Middle East. This war is already deeply unpopular for obvious reasons amongst the American people, and the American people are not going to accept ground troops being put into harm's way.
In his Easter speech, Pope Leo called for the faithful to keep their hope in the face of death, which lurks, quote, because of the violence of war that kills and destroys. The pontiff also announced a prayer vigil for peace to be held on April 11th. Torian Small, CBS News, Washington.
Well, OPEC Plus members have agreed to boost oil production in May. 8 countries, including Saudi Arabia, Russia, and Iraq, agreed to raise their collective production by 206,000 barrels a day. That will put their combined output to 33.7 million barrels per day. At the same time, the organization cautioned that any disruption to energy security increases market volatility. This is due to Iran's effective closure of the Strait of Hormuz. Conway Fire Department is reporting an early morning fire at Conway Regional Medical Center today. The incident happening around 6 involving a cooling tower located on the lower level near the emergency department. No patients, visitors, team members, or personnel were injured. To protect everyone inside, that emergency department was evacuated and placed on a temporary diversion, with services consolidated to unimpacted areas in the hospital. You can stay with THV 11 News as we learn more. Well, after blasting off on Wednesday, the Artemis II is continuing its route around the moon. But there are a lot more people involved in this mission and at least one of them is right here from the natural state. THV 11's Carter Thweet spoke with him today about his 40-plus years at NASA and what he's watching for with tomorrow's launch.
When I was working at NASA, I really was pinching myself all the time because I was getting to do things that, other people would probably have paid to go do.
It was the fulfillment of a lifelong dream for Ralph Carruth.
I was really a product of the space age. When I was in elementary school, I used to write NASA and say, send me all your latest pictures and brochures.
Carruth went on to attend the University of Central Arkansas and earned a master's at the U of A. Eventually, those same pictures and brochures he wanted as a kid would feature his own work.
I was there for 42 years. And the last 18 years, I was in the senior executive level and managed some major parts of engineering.
The International Space Station and Hubble Telescope were some of Carruth's bigger projects, and now his work making headlines once again.
And in the end, we were working on the Artemis spacecraft or rocket.
Something that shows just how much work Carruth put in for this project. When Artemis 1 launched in 2022, he was invited back to see it, even though he'd been retired for more than a year.
The management invited me to come down to the Cape, and so we got to go in and to a viewing area and watch the very first Artemis launch.
That was an unmanned mission, but Artemis 2 won't be. Carruth will be in his home state of Arkansas this time, but he'll be watching.
It's just kind of amazing because I know all the pieces we worked on. I started working on it like in 2004. And all the development and all the pieces that had to come together. I'm just excited to see the whole process.
For THV 11 News, I'm Carter Thweet.
All right, Carter. Well, on this Easter Sunday, Pope Leo delivering his first message since becoming pontiff. We made mention of this earlier, with thousands gathering for the Easter Mass and message in St. Peter's Square, which, per tradition, has been decked out with flowers and bulbs for the celebrations. In his message, the Pope calling on powerful people to turn away from violence and domination.
Let those who have weapons lay them down. Let those who have the power to unleash wars choose peace. Not a peace imposed by force, but through dialogue. Not with the desire to dominate others, but to encounter them.
After delivering his message, Leo wished people a happy Easter in 10 languages, including Arabic, Chinese, and Latin. And a little closer to home, churches across the state prepared for what some studies say is the highest attended and busiest time of the year for congregations. At St. Mark Baptist Church, every seat was full to watch the Easter services, from speeches to songs of worship, but what caught the eyes of many young people, the crowds cheered for. Church members say that about 29% of the congregation at St. Mark is made up of people between the ages of 18 and 35. Just a small fraction of a nationwide study showing the younger generation returning to the church. Senior pastor Dr. Philip L. Pointer Sr. says the influx of young people at the church has been exceptional, noting a newfound interest and engagement to grow in their faith. Tonight at 10, we'll take a closer look at the numbers and hear from the young adults who are creating their own redefined relationships in the church. If you're looking for a career change or want to serve your community in a new way, Little Rock Police Department is hiring. You must apply by September 1st for the upcoming October Academy. There are many immediate benefits, including a $10,000 signing bonus, a $5,000 residency incentive, and benefits start beginning day one. For more information, just visit the website on your screen.